Neutrals are a perennial staple, which basically means they are on trend within any decade and in any space. And today we look within this palette and draw on new takes on minimalism. Join me as we learn more about the neutral color family that lie within Plascon's 2025 color forecast. Welcome to Clarence Apartments. Chris, today we're unpacking neutrals. Can you just discuss the neutrals that we've been able to enjoy previously and how they differ from these neutrals you're introducing?
Yeah, sure. So neutrals historically have been very cold, very kind of clinical, but this year we've taken a very different approach to neutrals and found ones that are actually very warm and have a hint of color in them. So unlike clinical neutrals before, these just have a lot of warmth and a lot of life, which is quite new for this palette.
Now, when you do speak about these more warm neutrals, what are you referring to specifically and how can we see them in our everyday lives?
When I say warm neutrals, what I'm really meaning is neutrals that have some color to them. So we often call them pigmented neutrals. They're not very clean necessarily, but they do have a luminosity and they've got a real strong hint of color in them. So compared to white and off-white, there's much more visible color than there would have been before. So like pinks, for example, or some very, very subtle yellows. It's all there, but it's more in the undertone of the color and less on the surface.
Gentlemen, you guys are formidable fashion designers locally and internationally, and you're known for your extravagant and extroverted design choices. But within your building, what were some of those neutral, more pulled back decisions that you've been able to make?
So I think we are known for color and print in our fashion. But when it came to home, we wanted something that was a little bit more calming. But white and old neutrals is not our thing, and we had to think about what would work for us and how it would work in our, in our home. We also wanted to go quite minimal. We wanted to go quite modern, and we had to decide what that meant for us. We didn't want it to be clinical. We wanted to be more about editing and about showcasing what we've got in the best way.
But I think most people are drawn to natural tones. And natural tones are anything that we see around us. Mud, sand, sky, sunsets, whatever it is. And those to me are natural tones and colors. And we can always use that as basics. And then on top of it, bring in print, color, or any other elements. And I think that's the same with interiors. If you create a soft, beautiful, natural canvas, you can create your own mood. You can change it with winter, with summer, whatever. But those naturals don't necessarily have to be white, gray, beige. It can be soft tones of color.
Throughout the series, we've been speaking about the theme of hybridity. How do we see hybridity taking place within our neutrals?
And a lot of it is about dark and light shades of the same colors. If you look around us, we have a lot of pink on the walls, but it reads as darker pink and lighter pink in different areas depending on the light and the color used. And it's that kind of hardness and softness that really brings that duality in again.
And that's what we're speaking about. I mean, you touched base on my favorite color, which is pink. But within the neutral spectrum and family, what would be your favorite colors?
So one of my favorites from neutral is called White Night, which despite the name actually is quite pink. So it's got a very tinted, pigmented undertone, and it works really well because it's not kind of bubblegum or Barbie, but it's very usable, and it's one of the few colors as a neutral fan that I would really want to use in my space personally. And another color I really like is the Plascon Salt Pebble that's part of the range as well. It's a much more sort of mid-neutral, it's much more earthy, but it complements the others really well, especially like the ones around us that have more pink to them.
Well, it seems like in Cape Town, nothing needs to be bland, not even the color family neutral. Step into a world where color meets possibility with Plascon's 2025 Hybridity color forecast. Spend 500 Rand or more on any Plascon products and stand to win a state-of-the-art Toyota Corolla Cross 1.8 XS Hybrid worth 500,000 Rand. Simply WhatsApp your receipt, name and ID to this number. T's and C's apply. Plascon, together we've got this.